Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Divide by Sheep. So we muddled our way through this puzzle. I don't feel really great about my level of success. I never really feel smart when I solve a puzzle even with 3 stars. Many times I'm solving puzzles without even really realizing I'm solving them, just because it's luck. But we are at the World of Ruins, so let's see what the final gimmick or twist may be. Looks like now we have TNT platforms that get triggered when somebody lands on the button, or maybe exclusively when wolves land on the button. Certainly there is a feeling here that this is a game inspired by something like Angry Birds, and in fairness, even Angry Birds is kind of a weird name for what that game is. And perhaps a little bit aggressive for what the game is. But yeah, even the effort of making Angry Birds, they put a lot of time and effort into trying to make the Angry Birds series a narrative that made sense. They made Angry Birds movies. Even with all that effort, though, I couldn't tell you any of the actual narrative or story around any of those characters or the names of any of the characters. And the same is true here. You have just generic sheep and you have generic wolves, and it seems like they're antagonistic to each other for more than just natural reasons of the wolf is hungry, so the wolf will eat the sheep. So we have yet again a tutorial where it's just going to be learned by doing, and while we have different backgrounds, we still have the exact same 8-step, 7-space, it's not even 8, layout, 7-platform layout. But yeah, your game's just not really going to grow if you can't go in different directions. I wouldn't be surprised if you told me that this game was actually just based off of some written pen and paper collection of puzzles that was printed hundreds of years ago, and they've just taken those puzzles from an old puzzle book that would now be public domain and made a digital version around it. So let's see what happens when we land here. That seems like that turned off the fire, which that seems like that was the move. Okay. And then let's go ahead and do that to get to 5. And then let's see what happens when we do this. Just burns them all up. Okay. So no real surprise on the burning yourself up maneuver. And since you don't need any deaths, and since there really aren't any options, you have to do that first. And then those are just lost. You would like to potentially just do this. And so there is, I guess, maybe a question worth experimenting to see what would happen if we put a 1 on a switch, but I imagine we'll be able to figure that out kind of quickly anyways. I don't get how you do. Yeah, I'm not really following how you would do less. Seems to me like what you need to do is something like that, to then move that that way, to then just cycle everything around. So we are going to learn that you really only need 1 sheep on the platforms. And so we just needed to free up space. It's not a hugely impressive gimmick you have in that situation. Okay. We have a 3, a 6, and a 4, so 13. On the field, we have a 4 and a 3 for 7, 8, 9, 10, 13. We cannot lose any lives at all. So, at some level, you need either a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 4 on this platform as the last step. Okay. And we basically have to get all of the other pieces off at some level. So if we were to make a chain, then the combined thought here would just be, how can we get 6 without losing any lives? We already have a 3 here. This would be 5. How do you even get 4? You've got to get either this and this combined. And everything is going to be killed and burned up, not just like one, unlike the other platforms where one thing burned up every step, which that's a more complicated concept of this. So why isn't that the gimmick that was introduced at the very end, instead of introducing those platforms that would kill one, sacrifice one sheep? Yeah, and the fact that it did have kind of like a pentagram and looked like it was sacrificing sheep doesn't really make sense, because we're dealing with what looks like a fairly benevolent death character, not Satan. Okay. I gotta do something, so let's just do this. We'll learn by doing. That platform is now safe. We can now do that. But in that merger, we did not get where we wanted to go. If there was a wolf or a pig, I could probably do this. So it definitely seems like the deal is to keep the 1. And so your only first move is to do that. Then do that. Then probably toss that. Then probably put that there. And do that. And so I think the move is probably to just go in circles here with all of this. Yeah, I guess that works. 3 plus 1 is 4. And then that. I think I'm overcomplicating it in my mind. Okay. So we need 3 sheep. Which that implies to me that we've got to have something land here. And we don't want it to be 7. So you start with that. And then probably have to combine that to get to that to do that. So we at least get 1 star. Then we want 3 wolves. These guys are just never going to burn up. At some point we will see if we can burn wolves, I'm sure. So, yeah. That at least lets us get to 3 wolves. And then I guess what we can do is just toss our sheep here to get that. So if we're lucky, we may just be able to breeze through most of this. Okay. If we have 7 and we subtract 2, we'll have 5. If we subtract another one, then we would have 4. Is that correct? 2 would give us 5. We would then need 1 more wolves. So there's 4 wolves now. Which means I could get to 4 sheep now by just losing a whole bunch. It gets us 1 star, I guess. Then we can do that. Oh, so we can clear out the space with the flames. I don't know why I'm surprised by that. That's exactly what I expected would happen. So that this would have been an unsolvable puzzle if we couldn't have burnt the wolves. Yeah. I guess just seeing it actually work. Perhaps I'm half expecting this game to make it impossible. Well, we're in a weird position. Let's see. If we play a 4 here, 4 minus 7 would give us 3. So it does feel like your first move would be to do that. And then off we go with the wrong number. Let's try that math again. There are 8 here, so 4 minus that gives me 2, so that's not the right number either. Hmm. 6 minus 7 minus 8 gives you 2. And obviously it's the wrong move. You could do something like that. And then that'll get you to 3. Then it is just a matter of figuring out how to get to 5. Probably shouldn't be that difficult. Ah, but it is. Because we've got nothing protecting this platform now. So we can get at least 2 stars. So a little bit more jumping necessary. Now the platform is safe. Now the real question is just going to come down to how do we end up with the last 5? Because I have 7 here, which then could be turned into 8, but then it would just be turned back down to 7. And this could be turned to 3. But that is not enough spaces. That's 1 short. So we lost something somewhere in all this. It's gotta start here. And yeah, the only thing that makes sense is to do 2 here. Would there be possibly some logic to not eating these or eating these in a different way? We would need a 3, and there's just no way you can get 3 anywhere else. So you don't even get past that first step. Okay. I could lose 2 here, and like bring it down here to be 2, and then you'd have 2 and 2, and then you would have 3. But even at this, we have like 6, which you can't split, so you're going to lose 1 at least. Then you have 4, and then you have 2, leaving exactly room for 2 to be lost, which makes it feel like it really needs to be a 5 somewhere. Or 1 somewhere. Oh well, I'm just gonna go ahead and skip to the next level. Now we're reintroducing the pigs. Let's see what gets set on fire to start with. Who's touching these switches? They are. Okay. So we always need something on this switch. We can't just do this. That'll just burn everything. So that moves out. If we did that, then we have exactly 1 pig, which is way too few. If we did that, then you have 7 pigs in 1 grouping, which is not correct. This is the only safe location. Okay. So it seems like you have to do this. Then if I threw a 7 in here, that would leave me with 3. But it would also put me in this weird position. You can get like 1 star at least. So the only thing left, because we're gonna have to move these back, would be this one sheep. So then the question is, with 6, this will still be 6 when it jumps here, or it could be 7, doesn't matter. 6 jumping on a 5 would kill everything. What I need to do, I guess, is probably this. Okay. And then I guess the move is, how do we maintain this 7 and get the pigs over there? It just doesn't seem possible. If there was a second safe spot, that would work. So that means we have to do all of this before the pigs leave for the first platform. So how did we do this again? We did that, and then we did that. Okay. And then just move this out of this way. Do that. Do that. Okay. The question, I guess, becomes, how do we pull this off? I'm not doing it right. I can't be doing it right. It needs to be something like this, but I can't lose that many pigs that fast. So maybe it's something closer to this. You do that, then you do that, then there's your 3 pigs. Then you lose that much there. Then you do that. Then you do that. Then you do that. There's your second 3 pigs. Okay. So you should be safe to do that at that point. Should be safe to do that at that point. And so now it's just, how do you get 4? That may not be that difficult either. If we take this 7 down here to 4, add that here, and that's gonna leave 1 lonely sheep. Let's give him the freedom of death, I suppose, is what you might call that. Yeah. I guess let's skip over here to like 12 and see if we can maybe figure out this one puzzle, and then we'll call it a day. We have probably about 3 or 4 more episodes, if nothing else, if we were just gonna give up after solving all the puzzles for 1 stars. And almost certainly there is no extra motivation that the game is going to give us on top of that, like to continue to pursue. We need need 7 in the group at some point. Okay. So that's 6. So we're 1 off on that. If I added this to this, then you have 6. We can't really separate the groups, so this is pretty much always got to be 3. But we could reduce the numbers somewhat. 6 here. Get you down to 3. If I now played 6, it would just replace the 6 sheep that already exist. So now we have 6 or 7. So that would just kill everything over there. If we do that and just lose 2, and then if we threw that, then that gives us 2. This would be 6. So that seems like that's almost right. But obviously it isn't. We've got to get probably this down to 3 somehow. And this down to 1 somehow. Let's see. Seven in this case should leave me with 2. So if we could combine these two somehow. Like that. But then here's the problem is I can't jump a 7 to a 6. Can I? So I have to just kind of clear the field. And then I've got to figure out a way to turn this group of 5 somehow into a 1. Yeah, you can do that much. Sure. And that'll get you to a 3. But I'd have to basically just combine this to this again. And then just go ahead and fail the middle here. To at least get 2 stars. That gets you to a 1. And so that's probably what you need to do to start with. And then if I threw these 4 here, that would turn it into a 4. If I throw this over, if this was a 6, we need 3 somehow. This should give me 2, which is not what we want. And that moved the pig there. Whoops. That's not gonna work. So you throw your pig here, I guess, and then maybe you go this way. I guess that's fairly safe, since it's all swapping anyways. And then this could get us a 1 easily. Although this one probably needs to jump back this way to make this a... Nah, I guess it doesn't matter. So if we landed 3 here, and then got rid of 3, that's not the right number. If we landed 4 here, yeah, that wouldn't be right either. We need probably to do this, and then I need this one over here at some point. I probably needed the 2 at some point. Ah man, I just cannot wrap my brain around the math. There. It does just seem to me like this is going to get worse and worse as I try to think it through. So like we now have a 5 here, which technically if I could land the 5 would, I think, clear up. Maybe. Maybe, just maybe? If I add that together and we do that, there we have our 3s now. And this 6 can go here. Okay, so we've got a 6. So if I do that, and then do that, and then land, I guess, land this here. There's our 6 plus 1. I got it. Through just brute force effort. No. I had it and I don't think I can replicate it. I don't think I, like, Here's your problem, is that I don't think I can remember what I did at all. I think I did something like this. Nah, I didn't do that. I'm pretty sure I didn't do that. Because now we lost our 1. That may still work, however. Let's try this again and be way more careful this time. So 1 plus 6 gets the first one. These episodes have just gone longer and longer, but that is what's going to happen here, is that once we start really trying to get every single puzzle solved, I am just going to end up spending an extra 5, 10, 20 minutes on certain puzzles. We have broken the streak now, at least on worlds all having 79 stars, and that we are now up to 80 stars. And we did the first 6 puzzles of Worlds of Ruin. So at this rate, yeah, 5, 6 more episodes before potentially just making really, really long episodes to solve the remaining puzzles, which that's fine. Like, I think that kind of works if you get to the back half of a series and the episodes get a little bit longer. Although I am trying my best here to try and keep everything around 20 to 30 minutes, 22 to 30 minutes. I'm not doing a great job at it. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.